But today, February 21st, 2025, we are introducing this year's edition of 28 Days Black with a discussion about Black history. Today I have Miss Wright with me, Crystal Wright. I have Money Man Ted. I have Miss, I never knew your last name.
It's a man, but it's Tiffany Nicole.
Miss Tiffany Nicole. Oh, I see why you don't tell me your last name. And we have Mr. Flowers, aka Mr.
Tyrone.
I could have said your real name. You could have said your real name. You don't have to bring your alter ego into this. You know what I'm
Can I
saying?
throw something in there real quick? Today is the 60-year anniversary of Malcolm X's death.
No
February,
way.
Seriously?
February 21st.
You gotta be kidding me.
1965. Yep.
Why you didn't say this when I was listening to the autobiography?
I just thought about it right now.
That is crazy that this is all falling in line like this.
Yes.
Biggie's mom.
Yeah, Biggie's mom died
yeah.
today. Yep. Rest in peace, Mrs. Wallace. You know, your son made an incredible impact on the world, and he'll never be forgotten, nor will you. So the question I ask, and I bring to all of them at this panel, at this round table, is, Crystal, what is Black history?
What is Black history?
Mm-hmm.
It tells a story about our heritage, where we started, the struggles, survival,
Mm-hmm.
where we're headed, where we are now. It's Black life.
Tez.
B is like a umbrella. You could put a lot of things under it. It's our history. It's our celebration of us. Yeah.
Okay. Tiff.
It is stories. It's just like my shirt says, Black history. It always matters. It's a lot. Like everyone has a story about it, and speak.
Yeah, speak.
It's a lot to put into words.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. No, this is just some introductory stuff to get y'all views. Tyrone Jenkins.
I see Black history as a mixture of beauty and pain, success and struggle. It doesn't start at slavery. It starts way before that in the motherland, when we were kings and queens and potters and singers and creators. It tells the story of inventors and athletes and people in music, civil rights. It's the whole diaspora, and it's beauty and pain, and I love every minute of it.
That's what's up. For me, Black history is everything y'all said. And for me, it is the truth about who my ancestors were, who the people that laid the foundation, that brought us through all the struggles, not just in America, but in Africa ourselves, how we made our own way with no longer crawling on our feet and no longer being a caveman, but being the upright man and slowly evolving into the modern day man. And one thing I want to bring out, why do we call it Black history? Anybody. This is a random question.
Because it's about our people. Black Africans.
That's where I want to get at. That's where I'm going to get at. See, because there has to be a reason that we call it Black history and not history, American history. See, because American history is still history, but we have to shine the light on our history because we don't get the recognition that we deserve as a people. You know, it's just like the whole thing with Black Lives Matters. Yes, sir.
I
I just want to comment on that question.
Oh no, bring it in, our cameraman.
So you're basically asking, what is it? And in reality, I feel like it's like a subtraction because a lot of our people don't know, their roots. They don't know that.
That's a good point.
That's why I brought them with me, the kids. They're not on camera right now, but they don't know any of that stuff because it's not being taught. Number one, they're homeschooled, so whatever we can teach them, they'll get, but they won't get where they're from and where they're from behind all of that, where their roots are. You're talking about a people that were abducted from a country, brought here to work. That's not all we are.
No.
It just simply isn't it. So it's all the stuff that we've done after that. It's all the stuff that we've done before that. It's not just, oh yeah, you guys came on a boat. It's not just that.
Right, and he brings out a good point. He's definitely illuminating. Where I wanted to go with this is like, we had so much more going on before we came to America. Before we was dragged from our homes. So much more was going on. I know you had brought up to me about making the first pyramids and how they were the original Egyptians. And architects and stuff like that.
Mathematicians.
Yeah.
Because I think Amos, we used to have a school, remember? Amos, and there was some Africans that brought that over here, and it was teaching. They went back as far as Egypt and how they created the abacus, which they used to use for math. I'm old, so I remember seeing them in the classroom over in the corner. But yeah, that was what that was, to learn how to add, subtract. That was like one of the first tools that they used. Yep. And like I said, there were painters, there were sculptors, there were, like he said, Egypt was built, the slaves and even, the other people, that's who was building it. The African people were building the pyramids. Yeah. And the fact that they were that intelligent, that will remove the whole savage theory, because it seems like people want to start history where they want to start it at. Like they didn't even give you that part of history when the Africans were at their prime. Yeah. They started slavery, and then it went downhill from there. So it's good, that we bring these points out, because like he said, people don't know. It's people that actually don't know. They can find out, but maybe they don't know how, maybe they don't want to. But if you're going to do our history, you have to start from the beginning. Yeah. Not in the middle, not in the end. Yep. We have a whole history.
Yeah, I was just listening to the autobiography of Malcolm X. And as he was speaking, he brought up I'm not trying to make my past, like it was so glamorous and stuff. And I did all this stuff as a gangster and stuff. He wasn't trying to do that. But he was saying that if you're going to know what somebody been, want to know why somebody is like they are, you need to know their whole story. So he brought up the whole thing about him growing up in Lansing and being a gangster in Harlem and all these different facts simply because he wants the audience to know the whole package of Malcolm Little, better known Malcolm X. Yeah. And that was leading to our next question is, the reason it's important, because, and I'm gonna say this because there's so much stuff, like you said, that gets lost. Like you said, another thing you said, bring out that when we came over, everybody believed that Black history started doing slavery. That is nowhere near true. Nowhere near it. And the thing about it, what makes it crazy is that a lot of our history got whitewashed. Yeah, I said it, whitewashed, so that, we can still be the slaves that we were back in the day. And it's something, as y'all was talking, I thought about it. It was like, it was kind of like they brought their pets home. And it's like, well, if we're going to bring the pets here, there's one thing they do work on the field. But when they bring them in the house, we need to domesticate them. So that's why they broke us down. They broke us into the American way. They broke us into this view of, I'll be right with you, into this, method of their way of living. That's why you look at old pictures and things from the DIA and all the old pictures, you see the Black man wearing all these white attires and the long stockings and the wigs, trying to fit into the colonial way that they brought from Europe, that they was bringing into America. Go ahead, Josh.
it's not just that. They didn't just whitewash it. They tried to keep everyone stupid.
Yeah.
They would prevent you from reading,
Mhm.
writing, anything, just to keep you in this spot where you're dependent on somebody else. You can't have anything. You remove the rights. All of that stuff is being done to a people just because, like you said, they want to basically keep you as a pet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like voting. Like you had to take a literacy test to vote, and black people couldn't read and stuff, so of course they couldn't vote.
Mhm.
So any way to try to hold us down.
You've taken a people and then you've made it so that it's impossible for them to do anything in your society. And now you're resetting that and basically saying, oh, well, here's your rights. Figure it out. It's never been able to recover from that.
No.
No,
It's
we haven't.
the
No.
best, and I hate to say this, but the best example of how far we've come as a people is Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Becoming a black president is like the apex of what we can see that we can get to at this point, which is great. Like I saw that, I was like, thank God.
My dad cried. Honestly, my dad, he cried.
Yeah, the older people, it really had an impact on their life because of all the things they dealt with and
Yeah.
seen and fought for. Because my mom is 94. So she was like, oh, wow, like, we got a black president. I never thought I'd see that. They couldn't believe it.
Does anybody have a date on segregation when it stopped?
65. It was either
So
Yeah.
1865.
she's
No.
90 what?
1960.
Oh,
94.
segregation.
So she was around during segregation then. There's no getting around that. So
Yeah.
if you think about it, this stuff is still fresh with people that are in our lives right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Like, it's not. You're
Yeah.
talking art history still is untold.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
I
Yeah.
want to touch on George said that we were like their property
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and considered 3/5 of a person. That is the reason why, and I'm gonna get off subject just a little bit. That's the reason why I feel like we should really kill the N-word. I know people don't agree with it.
Yeah, I
They try to
don't-
make it
I don't
a term
use
of
that.
endearment. But if you really break it down, the white slave master called us that because they felt like we were less than human. They felt like we were 3/5 of a person. And we continue to use a word today, and I feel like it's very demeaning. And people don't think about that type of stuff. They see it, oh, that's my homie. That's not what it means. Like I was telling somebody earlier, if I called you stupid 400 years ago, it means the same thing today. It doesn't change because we
Just
want to put an
because you put
acronym on it.
A at the end.
Or make it into an acronym or anything like that. I feel like I want to go back to us calling each other brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Try to be positive.
Kings and
Don't.
queens.
Yeah. Something. So
Yeah.
that just made me think about that when you said that.
Let me throw this out since you went there. Very rarely, and I work with a lot of white people. No offense to y'all, but very rarely do you hear them call each other hunkies.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
Even when they joking around,
Yeah.
they might be
Like
playing
cracker.
for like you cracker, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
But we say the N word on like
We put it in our
Breathing.
music.
Mhm.
We put it on our
Yes.
shirts.
Basic conversation.
Basic conversation. People don't. They let it fly out so much you didn't even think to call each other something different. But
So could you say that we took it to empower us?
no,
Like,
it's nothing
It
empowering.
wasn't
about
even
that.
empowerment. It was just a ghetto thing.
We
Yeah,
took it
it's
as our
nothing
own
empowering.
Slang people,
about that.
lower,
Yeah.
slang, hood, whatever you want to call it. That was just what they did.
I'll tell you right now, I know doctors, black doctors, they don't use that word.
Okay.
It's intelligence. It's
Yeah.
Martez, you know one of the people that I know,
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah. 100%.
He's absolutely would never use that word.
Yeah.
It's not his vocabulary. It
Yeah.
never has been. I've known that man my whole life.
Yeah.
People that are educated, people that are fluent, they're like, why? What is
Right.
going
Exactly.
on with you to use that
Exactly.
of all things as a term of endearment?
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
I'ma
just,
give
that's
you-
just an excuse.
I'm gonna give you another example. I love Dr. Umar. I listen to him all the time. I don't agree with everything he says, but a lot. He was talking to this guy. He was on his podcast, and he said, "Do you have kids?" He was like, "Yeah, I have a son that's 13, a daughter that's 6." He said, "When they graduate from high school and they walking across that stage, do you want the announcer to say, and the next N coming up?" Like, no, but do you? I mean, think about it. Is that what you would want to hear when they walking across the stage? Yeah, the next N word coming up. Think about that. People don't think about that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
it's just we just always it's cool, or you trying to fit in, or we try to make it a term of endearment. We have to elevate to the point where we see each other as more than that. Because honestly, this is just me. Maybe I'm biased. I think we are the most beautiful, the strongest, the smartest people on earth. We're like the X-Men. That's what I think about them. We like the X-Men, and no disrespect to anybody else. I love people. I love the world. I love people, but we gotta love each other. We don't love each other. We argue over dark skin and light skin, rich and poor, or you had two parents in your house and I had to struggle. We fight over anything. It's time for us to get rid of that stuff.
Because at the end of the day, we're all black.
Yeah, it don't matter if you
so tired. You speak Spanish. So what?
Yeah.
Does that make me any less black? Like, dude,
Yeah.
Dominica is in the Caribbean. We're black.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Black is black.
Yep.
They like, no, you ain't black. You over there, and I'm like, over where, dude? I'm like, right. I'm just like, dude, it doesn't matter. We're black. Everybody black.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna sit up and say, if I was born in Germany, guess what? I'd be a black German.
Exactly.
But that don't make me less black. I'm a black person that lives in Germany.
Yeah.
So I don't understand us as a people why when it comes to the Caribbean, why do we always have to beef?
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's black. It don't matter. But I have to say, it's our fault too. Because some of us over there think, the yellow ones. It's the same thing. It don't matter. No offense, because you the coolest yellow person. You know what I'm saying? But seriously, it's still, you would think that, in America, they do it. But when you go, you just like, bro, we over here doing that too.
They do that too over there?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like, I'm not black. I'm Dominican.
Yeah.
Girl, we the same.
Yeah.
I'm just dark.
They just got dropped off
I'm
first.
just dark and you light.
Yeah.
But we from the same
It was
place.
a shorter distance.
It's the same thing, okay?
They are cousins over there.
Yeah, but it's literally, it's a bit of a rift over there too, and it's like the light and dark thing. But that's that slave mentality.
Yeah.
The house in versus the field in.
Yeah.
They really, and Jim Crow and all that. That's
Yeah.
still in full effect, and we never got away from that.
Yeah.
And that's what like you said, the infighting about every little thing. But everybody does it. Every race does it. But it's like they focus on us and make us be the worst ones out of everybody. Because it's things that goes on in every race that's similar. They got they reasons why they don't like, because I'm at work and I work with a lot of people and it's like, oh, you a freaking Canadian, or you a Polak, and I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, yeah, we rednecks, you Polak, you over there, and I'm like, y'all too, like, come on. But, everybody has their thing, but like I said, when we do things, it's to the 10th power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything is to the 10th power, and it's always the worst things.
The worst, yeah.
They don't talk about the good things that black people do, the contributions, the community-minded people.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of us that are not doing these things that are on the media.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you got the media constantly bombarding that, bombarding people with that, then that's all they're going to see. When they see you, when they see me, that's what they're going to remember. That's what they're going to see. And then you got people, the racist people, they're going to believe what they want anyway. Yeah. They know the truth, though. That's the killing part. The people that don't know, you can overlook that because they just don't know. They're usually inquisitive. They'll ask you questions because they want to know. People are getting better. They want to know. But then you have the ones that know that want to block the truth, and they're like this. They put the wall up. I don't care that you're a good person. Mm-hmm. According to me, to make my stuff right, you're going to be like how I see you, how I want to see you. Yeah. And that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? And that's like one of the things that we're up against. You got people like that running stuff. So, how do you get to the next level when you're climbing this wall and the pegs are falling off as you grab them and you keep sliding back down?
Definitely some great points.